Do you love me? Do you need me? Do you want me?
What's up, guys? Hope you enjoyed that skit. It was so much fun to create, except for a little difficult to try to manage all those zombies. They weren't exactly experienced in zombieing, so it took some work to get all that, but I love how it turned out. I thought it was really funny. Everyone that I had in the video, my friends and coworkers, and even my boss, who shot us all in the head at the end, had so much fun doing it, and so hopefully I can try to incorporate more type of like skit slash like scenes into the videos, because I think they just make them so much more fun and likable. This shirt, I just have like a white like bralette underneath, and then I took a tank top I did not care about, took it, just took some scissors, cut at it, and so that's that. And then in the video, my friend put blood all over our arms and legs and stuff just to give a full body experience, but I didn't feel like doing that tonight because it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning. Be careful what kind of blood you get, because my hands were staying red for like 2 days. I mean, commitment, you know what I'm saying? By the way, I know this is called Zombie Bartender, and it's pretty much just a zombie. I just like the idea that you can make anything a zombie. Zombie bride, zombie teacher, zombie, you know, dentist, zombie taxidermist, whatever. Zombie bartender. All I was thinking was I wanted to do a skit. I knew for sure I wanted to do some sort of little skit video before the tutorial, and I was like, what do I have access to establishment wise? And I was like, well, my work, because I work at a bar. And so my boss agreed to let us film there after hours, so I just slapped the word bartender at the end of zombie, so it's Zombie Bartender. I'm gonna go take a shower with soap. I hope you guys liked it. If you do, please thumbs this video up, and also please subscribe down below. If you are on a desktop, I will put it boop, right here, and a little bell notification if you want to get notifications when I post videos, which is going to be a lot more often now. It's just so hard starting out. Hopefully one day one of you are watching this when I'm at like 3 million subscribers, and you're like, I remember in that one video when she was like, oh, I only had 700 subscribers, oh. And then you're going to be like, holy she did it. She did it. I hope you have a great and safe Halloween. Bye, guys. Hi, guys. So we're going to start out with the moisturizer. This is Confidence in a Cream by IT Cosmetics, just because we're putting on a lot of makeup, so I want to make sure my skin's not dry. Then I'm going to take the Becca Backlight Priming Filter, and the reason I'm using this as a primer is just because I feel like zombies or dead people have a bit of a glow underneath their skin, so we're using this. Then for foundation, I'm using the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte and True Match mixed together because they were my lightest foundations, but I didn't want to be super matte, so I added the True Match, putting that all over my face, and then dabbing it in with my Real Techniques Beauty Sponge. Buff this in everywhere. Make sure to get your neck too, if you're not as pale as I am already, and then take a little break for some water. Dasani, the best water in the world. Now take your upside down Milani Brow Shaping Wax and wax down your eyebrows. Then taking the Anastasia Brow Wiz in medium brown, which is the one I usually use, I'm just filling in my eyebrows like usual, but I'm making them a teeny bit more straight than I typically would. Then I wanted them a little darker, so I'm using this brow trio that I think I got in a BoxyCharm box, and just filling them in to make them a teeny bit darker. Then I'm taking this Your Minerals setting powder and my Real Techniques sponge again, and setting my entire face with this powder because I'm putting a lot of makeup on and I want it to blend out nicely everywhere. So this helps. And then buff it all off with your microphone / dual fiber brush. Now we're going to get into the bruising. I'm using my everyday go-to palette, which is just a mixture of shadows and powders, and taking these two Makeup Geek shadows and accentuating my already horrible dark under eyes. I'm taking the yellow to begin with, and this is going to be like the bruising. So this is going to be on the outermost part. So I'm starting with this and then working my way inwards. Then doing the same with the green, and then putting it around the nostrils as well, just to make it look bruised and rotting. Then this Morphe palette, the Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm taking the cranberry in this dark warm brown, and I'm putting this a little tighter in near my eyes, around my nostrils, and then I'm contouring my nose with this as well. So after you do that, you're just going to take like a larger fluffy brush and keep blending things out. Then taking Corrupt from Makeup Geek and putting this on the lid and the under lash line just to make it look really hollowed out and sunken in. Now I'm going in with these two Lorac single eyeshadows in blue and cranberry to be like the bruising, and I'm blending out the black with those two colors. Now I'm going to hollow out my temples, so I'm taking that cranberry and brown again and just starting to hollow them out. And then I'll do the same with my hairline and my jawline. The more chiseled, I think, the more realistic and zombie-like it looks because it gives it that sick appearance. And then I'm taking the blue and adding the bruising on the outer edges again. Now we're going to do the cheekbones. I'm going to take this black again and a smaller brush and make a line straight down, and then taking like a warm brown to make those shadows and really start blending that out, and then just with a bigger brush blend that out. The reason I go down is because it looks sunken in, and the reason I wouldn't use a cool tone, which you'd think would look better with the zombie look, is because the warm brown actually gives it that realistic hollowed out appearance. And then just blend everything together on the temples. For my gashes, I didn't have any liquid latex on me, so I'm using eyelash glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit where I want my wounds and gashes to be. So make a nice thick layer, let it dry a little bit, and come back to it. Now we're going to bruise out the jaw, yellow, green, red, and then black again. Make sure you pull it all the way down so it looks like you're bruised from like crunching on flesh and bones. Now I'm going to make those same veins that I actually did in my vampirist video because it just looks a little more decrepit and protruding. And then I'm going to take the black, make sure that you get some of those in there too, and just make little like lightning bolts, and then take a brush and go over it just to blend it out a tad. Now I want to make my eyes look really bloodshot. So I'm actually using a red lip liner. Just make sure it's safe on your eyes and it doesn't burn your eyes. This one was fine. And then some mascara, because why not? I wanted my eyebrows to be a tad bit darker, so I'm using mascara to darken them. And then I'm adding the second layer because you want 2 layers at least. And once the first one's dry, after about 5 minutes, add the second layer and let that dry for another 5 minutes. Now onto the lips. I'm using Urban Decay lip liner and ozone to help it from bleeding throughout the night. And then I'm using the Bite Beauty lip primer. I'm going to line my lips with the OCC lip pencil in Black Dahlia and just fill out the outer edges with that. And then I'm going to fill in my entire lips with the Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick in Drop Dead Red, which is a super adorable name. And then in the middle, I'm just going to use a little bit of the NYX Liquid Suede in Brooklyn Thorn. Now that our glue is dry, I'm just going to take a tweezers and then start pulling away at the gashes to make them look like open wounds. And then I did not have good blood. I had like 4-year-old blood from a party store, so it was really red and tacky looking. But I would use better blood, and I would actually put a little bit of shadow around the outside to make it look like bruised, and then add the blood to it. And I put it on the gashes and then a little on my lip just to give it the appearance that I have been eating flesh. Since I was wearing a tank top, I wanted to carve out my collarbone, so I used the red and a little bit of gray to just make them look really sunken in and chiseled. And now you are a zombie bartender. Don't fuck with my shit.
That's a fact. Don't act Hollywood, but don't act.
I like that you can add cat, get off my butter wafter.
Do you love me?